This is the 2020 Mazda 3 sedan. This is the premium all-wheel drive package. I'm Josh Smith with GottaMeMobile.com. I'm going to give you my review and thoughts on this vehicle. From a style perspective, the Mazda 3 sedan in this metallic gray looks really sharp. We have 4 doors. This is the sedan. There's also a Mazda 3 hatchback. We have an actual trunk, and I'll pop that open real quick, give you a quick look. Here you can see I have my hiking accessories and a chair and a blanket stuck in there. Plenty of room, lots of space to store things. Did really well with groceries and other items. And I really like the lines on this vehicle. It's quite sharp, especially at the price point. And then the interior of our model, which I'll get to more in a minute, has a white and black interior. So that's an option that is a pretty stark contrast. And especially on the dash, you kind of get to see how that looks. And if you like accenting colors, you might want to decide on this for yours. We have a Skyactiv G 2.5 liter dual overhead cam 4-cylinder engine, and this pairs up with a 6-speed automatic transmission. There is sport mode, which does change the shifting a little bit, give you a little bit more pep, or the feeling of a little bit more pep. We have 186 horsepower and 186 pound-foot of torque. The interior on this model is very sharp. We have this white accent on the dash that pairs up with the black trim throughout. And then as we kind of come back here, you can see the seats are all white. There's some white trim there. And in the back, we have that same style with white seats and then the black overall color. So this works out really nice. I was originally a little skeptical of this two-tone, but it works out and it looks really nice in person. As far as driver safety and convenience features go, we do have blind spot warning. We have adaptive cruise control, which is very nice. And you can see those controls here on the steering wheel, so you can control how much distance is between you and the car in front of you. We also have media controls. We have a very nice cluster there, and we can actually control some of the options of what you'll see there. There is a head-up display that you can see a little bit of there on the middle of your screen. And that works out really well to see how fast you're going, what your cruise and everything is set at. And I did find that the height adjustment and the brightness adjustment were a lot better than I've seen in some other vehicles. So really nice setup there. The big infotainment screen right here is not a touch screen, so you're going to use a control that I'll show you here in just a minute. It does support Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You're able to control this using a dial off to the right of the driver's seat, as well as options on the steering wheel. I personally use this for Apple CarPlay most of the time, and it worked out really well. Down here, you can see we have the controls. So that big dial there in the center of your screen, you can twist, and you can also use as a joystick, so it works out really well. And then we have a volume control off to the right and a few other options. There is a USB port right up there on the front part of the dash that you can plug into. And then there's a cubby for storage. I'm not a huge fan of the placement of the drink holders here, just because you're kind of reaching up a little bit further. I would prefer them back a little bit, but that doesn't work out with this type of control system. In the center console here, we have another USB outlet. This one's a lot easier to use, so you don't have a USB cord snaking around the shifter. Then we have 12 volt, and then there's also wireless charging. So if you set your phone right in there, it will wirelessly charge, which is a handy feature. The back seat is not super spacious. I'm about 6 foot, and I'm able to fit behind the driver's seat with about that much room. It's not super comfortable. I would definitely want that up a little bit further. And you can see over there, if the passenger seat is back all the way, you're not gonna have a ton of room. Headroom was not really an issue. I thought it might be, but I did not bump my head at all. The seats back here are comfortable. We do have a little fold down area right here. So you have some cup holders right there. And there's no power point back here, so you're gonna have to run a USB or plug in something from the front seat. So back seat is good for kids, good for short trips with adults. That's about it. I wouldn't want to road trip with 2 other adults in this vehicle if they're sitting in the back seat. The Mazda 3 is fun to drive. I like to put it in sport mode. It has a nice amount of pep, and you get a very balanced steering experience. The steering wheel is nicely weighted, and even though you're not driving, a race car, you still get some of that Mazda roots, and so it's fun to drive. It's zippy. If you're looking for you're looking for a mid-sized car that is going to give you a more dynamic driving experience, then this is definitely one that you're going to want to check out. I recently reviewed the Nissan Sentra, and I really like all the style changes and everything there, but it wasn't super fun to drive. So if you're looking for something in that size, but you want something that's way more fun to drive, then the Mazda 3 sedan is something that you're definitely going to want to check out. Give it a test and take it on some windy roads and see how it holds up to your expectations. Personally, I found it to be very nice for driving, both on the highway and on those fun country roads. Thanks for joining me to check out the Mazda 3. You can find our full review over at GottaBeMobile.com. If you have any questions, leave them down below. We'll try our best to answer those for you. Thanks for watching and have a great day.